Keep eating.
More eating, less talking.
My name is Sigrun, also known as Sigrun in Icelandic. And this is my sister Drifa, also known as Drifa in Icelandic. We are Greta's sisters, older sisters.
Not a lot of
The other day, I said to someone that I work with, who is actually a very special person, I said to her, "You remind me so much of my sister, my little sister." But then in an instant, I realized that she had no idea that that was the biggest compliment I could ever pay anyone. On October 26, 1983, our lives changed forever. Our baby sister was born, our little ray of sunshine, and that's what I always called her. From the first time she opened her eyes, the goodness and light just emanated out of her. A bright, twinkling star and a bundle of goodness and beautiful energy. She couldn't wait to explore the world around her. She loved and appreciated everything. And everything was just so much fun. In fact, life was so much fun. But there was no way she could miss any of it. She wasn't going to sleep. I can tell you that, because we were the babysitters. The two of us, there was no sleeping. We had to hold her down until she gave up screaming and crying. She didn't want to miss a second of it.
We put our fingers on her eyes so she couldn't open them.
Thank you.
Eventually it worked. As she grew, I remember a little girl watching us curl our hair into very cheesy 80s hairdos with wide-eyed fascination. She wanted to be just like us. Putting a dab of eyeshadow on your little eyes, letting you put on a necklace, and hearing you squeal with pure delight. Clumping around in our high heels, throwing your arms around our necks, always so happy to see us, always singing, always dancing, all perfect skin and sparkling eyes, oblivious to how incredibly beautiful you are inside and out. Greta has always been a little too perfect, right? A little too good to be real, and yet the most real person on the planet. Sometimes we felt like maybe the stork had brought her to the wrong house. Surely we did not deserve to be so admired and loved so fiercely by this beautiful little being, and just so blessed. And I know you don't know this, Greta, but whenever life got hard, whenever I was sad or scared, I would crawl into your bed and just wrap myself around your little body, just to be near your goodness and light, because nothing could ever be bad if I was close to you. As she got older, Greta the perfectionist emerged. Always the best at everything she took on, amazing us with her gymnastics, making us all weep with her dancing. So incredibly talented and beautiful. She sailed through university effortlessly, getting a great job and quickly becoming completely indispensable. The little girl who wanted to curl up on our laps became the stunningly beautiful woman who is a gift to everyone she touches. Greta has a way of making you feel like there is nowhere she'd rather be than talking with you and being with you. She makes friends wherever she goes and enamors everyone she touches. And I have never known anyone who values her friends and values her family as much as Greta does.
I'm a little shorter. All right, so when boys started flocking around, we knew it was clearly inevitable. But we were pretty nervous. She's so innocent and she's so sweet. What if she gets hurt? You know, we didn't really like the fact that she was dating. There was nothing to worry about. She had her wits about her. And she knew exactly what she wanted at all times. She spent most of her time trying to avoid everyone. She didn't want to, lead anybody on. But all the boys fell completely in love with her. She's choosy, and well, she should be. A couple of boyfriends managed to sneak into her life, but she took care of them for a little while, and then she let them down easy. That was her way. We started worrying about her. Would anybody ever be good enough for our little sister? Would we ever find somebody that was acceptable to be in the family? Maybe she'd be alone forever. I mean, who would we possibly accept? Then along came Ian. We heard all about him after she met him. We were a little bit suspicious because she didn't really talk about boys very much. So this was a little strange. She was very nervous about her first date. She was a lot more jittery than she usually is. And that was quite unusual. So they go on their first date, and of course, Ian doesn't show up. Ian. Greta was a little disappointed, to say the least. She basically wrote him off.
I showed up.
They showed up at the wrong time. She showed up first, and then she went home in disappointment. He showed up later, and then he went home in disappointment. So they were both pretty disappointed in each other.
Our first date was a fight.
It started off with a challenge, which became something good. So we were wondering about that, what kind of guy was this Ian? Was he very smart? I mean, he stood up our little sister. And she was pretty hurt. She was pretty upset about that, and she's usually pretty easygoing. But there was something about this guy that really caught her. There was something about this guy that was different from everybody else. And so when push came to shove, she couldn't blow him off because she couldn't resist. And then she realized it was a big misunderstanding. Within a couple of weeks, they had their first date, the real date, and then after that, they were inseparable. They had such easy chemistry between them. They'd known each other, for a short time, but it seemed like they'd known each other all their lives. That's how easy it was. Everything just flowed, and Greta was so incredibly happy and sparkly. She was on air. Then Ian announced he was going to Australia. Don't know what that was about. Seriously? He goes off to Australia and we're thinking, okay, what's going on here? He finds the woman of his dreams, she finds the man of her dreams, and he's gone for a full year to Australia. Is this even gonna last? But I remember they were Skyping all the time, always in contact. It was very cute, and I think that was a wonderful beginning because then you had to get to know each other in a different way. So Ian went to another continent for a year, but nothing could pull them apart. Not even an ocean, not even half a world, nothing. She missed him dearly every day, but the whole thing proved to them that nothing was going to come between them. Not even the ocean. By now it was apparent to all of us that Ian and Greta would be forever. We're ecstatic. There's such a thing as a man that deserves you, Greta, and it's Ian. Our little ray of sunshine has the best man in the world. He comes into our family with his wonderful, kind, caring, and generous family. Scott, you're awesome. Cheryl, you were like...
You mean Nick?
Nick, sorry about that. Nick. Cheryl, you've been like a storm around here. In Iceland, that's a good thing. It's like that. She comes in and she just figures everything out. She's been unbelievable. I don't know how anything would have happened without her. Heather, Malcolm, Andrew, Ashley, and all your beautiful children. We are so enamored with them. They're so beautiful and wonderful. And Ian, thank you for choosing my sister. And making this precious girl the happiest woman in the world.